Hi, Cheryl here today, and today I've got a special one for you on a fork with permission from Claire's Wares. She is allowing me to do this, demonstrate this for you on a fork, and this is her Willis Bracelet. So be sure after you've seen this, please, to go over and thank her for giving me permission to demonstrate this on a fork for you so that you can do it. Claire's Wares, and I will be sure to put an annotation that you can click on this video so you can get to her and check out all of her lovely bracelets. Alright, we're going to do one with the same colors as this one here, with the rainbow colors. So let me get out some colors. We're going to do it with the pink, with some yellow, some orange, and some green. But the first thing you need to do for this is underneath here are rows of intertwining bands. So you're going to take your bands and set up these rows. There we go. So you're going to take two bands and put one on top of the other. The way I have them here. I'm going to reach over top for this and underneath for this and pull them so they're together nice and tight. Mine don't want to stay as tight. This type of band doesn't like to stay as tight with this, but that's okay. Alright, so you got these two together. You're going to take your next band. You're going to fold it in half through, and then tuck one loop through the other and pull, and take one more band and do the same thing. Fold it in half through, tuck one loop into the other and pull. So you've got 4 bands in a row. Rid of some of this blurriness, sorry about that. You got 4 bands in a row. I start with 4. You will be adding more as you go with this bracelet. Alright, you want 4 of these. So you're going to do this 4 times for your fork. Once you have 4 of them, you're going to gather them all up. And another note is I used light colors for this. I did one of these bracelets with dark colors for this, and I didn't like it at all. And then I went back and did one with light colors for all this, and I love it. That's the one I just showed you. So you really want to use light colors. So you're going to take all 4 of these, put them on your finger, and then take another band and tuck it through the center of all 4 of these. Fold it in half and tuck one end into the other. You know, it's easier said than done once you're working with 4. One end into the other and pull it tight. Okay? And that's how you're connecting the end of this. And you're going to straighten out your bands so they're all laying as even as they can here at the end. See how they're kind of twisted? You don't want them all twisted up down here. So I'm going to untuck them from each other so they're all nice and neat. So I want them laying neatly. Okay, so you see how they're coming out neatly now? You want them like that. Now I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to go to my fork. And I'm going to start putting my bands on. For me, I prefer to do the same pattern every time. So what I'm doing with my bands, so you can see here, is I'm going to lay my bands out in a row so I keep my same pattern. Oops, get out of there, orange, you don't belong in there. So I'm laying them out in a row, a little pile of each. I'm sorry, I did not count bands again. You know how bad I am at that. You guys have been very generous with not berating me about it, though. So very kind. Alright, so this is how I'm going to put them on. So I have the pile so I can keep my pattern the same way every time. So I'm just going to pick them off in this pattern. That way it stays nice and balanced on my fork. Okay, so you're going to start out with your fork, and I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to put it on. Let's get the blur out again. There we go. Put it on, and then you're just taking it back and forth from one side to the other so that it's twisted in between each one. Okay? If you can get the hang of the way I'm doing this, the way I'm weaving it back and forth, it's pretty easy to put them on. You're not having to twist each time. I start on one side. I'm kind of holding it, pulling it back this side, pulling it back to this side, and then pulling it back to this side. And that weaves them all the way through. Again, start on this side, pull it to this side. Oops, sometimes it comes off, you can hold it. Pull it to this side, and then back to this side. And then our green. Start on this side, pull it to this side, pull it to this side, pull it to this side. Next time I do this, I'll show it from the front so you can see how I'm going up and over. Alright, once you have them on like that, you're going to take this piece, this little bunch that you made that connected together. You're going to make sure you're putting these all on in the order that they are here. Okay, so the first one is going to go on the end prong, and then you're pinching it between your fingers to hold it tight. Okay, second one is going on the second one as you go down. Oh, okay, so, but make sure, see, that's not really the order it is down there, so I don't want to put that one on. I'm going to do this one because that looks like it's more in a row. The neater you lay this on with the bottom, the better it's going to look. And yes, I used two different colors for this. I wasn't really worried about it. Laid that one and that one. And as I laid them all on, I'm kind of holding them, pinching them between my two fingers in the back here to hold them tight. And you have to do that, or it's not going to work. This isn't going to work for you. Now, from here, you can either pick them up one at a time, like my first row would be my green, and pull them up over the fork. And then pick up the yellow one at a time and pull them up over the fork. Or you can use a hook and pick them up two at a time and pull them over the fork. A hook. So I'm going to show you. I'm not going to use wet fingers because they're going to get in your way. Show you how to do it one at a time, and then I'll show you how to do it two at a time. Actually, if you have the hook, you can even, if you're really careful, do four at a time, which is how Clair shows how to do it on the rainbow loom. So that's one at a time, and then if you wanted, and then or you could do two at a time. Okay, then you're going to turn it around to the back, and you're going to take these, and you're going to slowly work them down the bands. You're going to get to a point to where you don't need to have them on the fork anymore, so you can take them off, and you'll just continue to work them down the bands, taking your time and working them down until you get to the bottom. Now they're at the bottom. Then you put this down once you got it to the bottom, and go back to your fork, and put your bands on again in the same order. So I'm going to do it show it to you from the front. Back, to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, front, back, front. Now you got them all on again. Like I said, it's very important that you put these on in the same direction every time, the same order, so that your bands go on right. So, making sure you've got them in the same order. Put them back on again, making sure to pinch them between your two fingers again. And pull them over again. This time I'm just going to do it 2 at a time. If they want to come. Pull it down, take it off, hold it tight up here and pull it down some more. And then you can move your hands down and slide it down to the end. You might have, like, see how part of this isn't slid as far? So I'm just going to pull that side a little bit first so it evens out, and then pull everything down. Okay, so you can see how it goes. Alright, so you're going to continue like this until you get up near the end. And these 4 bands that you have in this row are not going to be enough to go around your wrist. So once you get up to about here, about the end of the third, you're going to add another band, or you can add 2 more bands. It depends on how many you want to add at that time. You can add 1 or 2, and you're going to keep putting them on and adding bands till it's wide enough for your wrist. All right, so that's how you're going to put it together. Like I said, once you get up to here, you're going to add another. You'll add another, at least 2 more bands, maybe 3, to make it wide enough for your wrist. You're just going to add them just like you added these. Fold it in half, tuck it through, pull it tight. You're going to do that on each one of these to make it long enough for your wrist. And now I'm going to show you, put that aside and show you how to take it off. Alright, since I have this one long enough for the wrist, for my wrist, what I'm going to do to take this off is I'm going to take another band. So let me get a band here. I'm going to put it on here. And I'll hold it around my finger in the back. Now I'm going to pull this over it and lift it off, holding on to it like that. Okay? Then I'm going to pull this over it and lift it off and move it over. Pull this over it, lift it off and move it over, and pull this over it. Okay, then I'm going to take it off my finger and put it on here and pull this over it and pull it tight. And then you have the other end connected. And you have your whole bracelet. It's all connected on both ends. All you got to do is put a clip on the end and your bracelet is done. And like I said, be sure to go to Clair's Wares, so you can put your clip right there between those 2 loops to hook it together. Be sure to go to Clair's Wares and thank her for giving me permission to make this for you, to show you how to do this tutorial. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos.